So next, I'm really happy about this guy here. We got William from Stevens Creek Shutter Company. He is an entrepreneur based in the rural south end of Ottawa. He is a full-service window treatment firm supplying quality custom window treatments to homes and businesses. William's a third-generation window treatment pro, so he didn't just get into this business. He's coming with some clout, and he's got over 30 years experience in offering drapery blinds and shutters to clients. He operates a design studio in Kemptville as well, where William has been twice nominated as Male Entrepreneur of the Year with a rapidly growing business, 3 teenage sons, and a busy life. Though, more importantly, as I know William from a networking group, he is one of the friendliest guys with that East Coast wit that you just cannot, you can't just help but get infectiously happy when you get to meet him. So Will's going to share with you how he worked to adapt his business from a reactive position to a proactive one. And I have got to see this in action. He's been slowly and methodically making his business more future-proof. So I'm excited to see Will to introduce you. So welcome, William.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And thanks to Paul and Mike for putting this together. I hope that you can see. I'm a bit of a...
Yep, we can see it.
And the little PowerPoint thing has come up. It seems
Perfect.
like it's converted from Microsoft to iCloud. So we'll see how it goes through, how easily. Yes, we've got slides and things overlapping each other. So this will be fun. Anyway, this couldn't have come at a worse time for me as a business. We're about 4 years in with a steady increase in sales. I mocked up a little chart. January over last year, 20%. February over last year, 20%. March, massive plummet. April, flatlined, right? So that's where we were at. Okay, this is a complete muddle. We're set for expansion. I just recently hired a full-time guy, a linchpin of my expansion plans to find the right person. Everyone knows who's in a small business that you wish that you could duplicate yourself somehow. And I managed to do that. And just a few weeks in, we've had to put the brakes on completely. That expansion, by the way, included getting a second vehicle, more equipment, and so on and so forth. So the COVID-19 pandemic has really put the brakes. It's put my business on pause completely. We're not installing. We're not doing shop at home visits. Window treatment business is mostly in clients' homes. We do a little bit of commercial, which we've also paused. The only exception to any of this is we do work with healthcare settings for cubicle curtains. And we may have a little bit of business in that category. Actually, it's funny. One of the last installations that I had to cancel was, honest to goodness, in the respiratory clinic of the Queensway Carleton Hospital. So I think we made a good decision not to go in there and install blinds right before this happened. So like many of you, our pause is the fundamental shift. Like I was just overwhelmed for the first few days with watching Facebook and Twitter and the news networks and trying to figure out what the heck was going on and how is that going to impact me and when can I get back to work. And really, you know, after that first exhausting day or two of hanging on to all the information that came cascading towards me, I had to figure what was within my control and what wasn't. And clearly this situation was going to get worse before it got better. So I could spend most of my time in that kind of catastrophic react thinking, or I could move to a more proactive type of thinking and figure out what I can do within my business to adjust, right? There I am. So this is how I feel currently. Like I'm a small child riding on sheep in a rodeo, but it's not my first rodeo. Thankfully, luckily for our business at least, although we are completely at a stop, we do have that cushion that Angela talked about earlier. I've been in business for many years in different forms and have my wife calls it frugal, I call it cheap kind of mindset, where we have been very careful financially to ensure that there was that cushion for our business, that as we expanded, we did it on a pay-as-you-go kind of basis. So we're actually, even without any revenue coming in, okay for a number of months. I sat down and figured out we're good for about 6 months, continuing to pay our rent, continuing to pay our, for the shop and so on. We have that cushion, and it's because of that pay-as-you-go mentality. I'm not saying this to sort of gloat or be proud of myself about it. It's just the way that I'm built. And it is heartbreaking for many, many, many of my friends in small business right now where that kind of scenario isn't possible. But it's certainly something that when we get back to business, not normal, to all consider in your business is how can you sort of future-proof and create a cushion that you're able to continue even in the result of a shutdown. So my proactive steps you can take today. I probably should have looked at this earlier on my, because I have a number of little steps for you to look at, and things that I'm doing within my own business. I'm not a business coach. I leave that to experts like our friend Angela and others that are on the call. But these are the things that I'm doing. Is I feel that business, 99% of it, the part that isn't mental is about relationships. So I'm spending this time working on my relationships, supporting other small businesses in the sense of my social media feed for our business has become a highlight on a different local business in our area around Manotick, Cars, North Gower, and Kemptville, and their struggles and how we can support them. I'm checking in with suppliers. I'm checking in with clients. And spending this time to really try to build better relationships. We have a little project going with a supplier that I was set to become a distributor for shortly, where we'll be offering open forums and support for interior design clients, which would be my target market as well as theirs. But really it's designed about helping folks in their business right now. So I'd say number one is to work on your relationships. Number two, support other businesses in whatever way you can. This morning's event is certainly an example of helping other businesses, sharing what we're going to, sharing our strategies. I think we need to create content. I'm using this time to work on my website. I think there's kind of a rush right now to move businesses online, but I don't know if you're looking at your web statistics like I am. There's nobody shopping online currently, not in my category, maybe in some. I think there's, buying beer with delivery is pretty popular these days. There's some other business categories that are probably shining, but I think a rush to moving everything to online commerce may not be strategically as beneficial as you might initially think. I think we need to be ready with all kinds of strategies when we get back to businesses as not normal. But certainly you can spend this time to improve your website, to improve your Google business page, to improve your social presence. We're using the time to formulate new product offerings in the sense of packaging products, better communicating how those products can work together. We have an outdoor line, for instance. I can do outdoor drapery with outdoor drapery hardware. Some of those pieces. Looking.
Oh, sorry, Will, if you don't mind getting to the wrapping it up for the last 15 seconds so we can get to the Q&A.
Yeah. The other two was just plan for a new marketplace. Like Angela mentioned, the same thing, that the landscape is going to be different. Your client, your ideal client may not exist after this. So think about how, when we restart, and whether it's 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12, who that person is apt to look like, and what we can do to alter what we offer and how we offer it in a way that makes sense for them. Thank you, folks. It's really nice to have a chance to speak and vent some of this out, as well as share your experiences. Thank you.